Welcome to another Down the Rabbit Hole video. Join me in a cup of coffee here because I want to try an experiment. When I was a kid, when I first started drinking coffee, I used to always have it with milk and sugar, just as a way to kind of take away the burn, and that's the way it was served to me. Because I'm not a huge fan of the flavor of just black coffee. I have tried, it just doesn't agree with me. It's not the way to do it. So again, cream and sugar or milk and sugar. And there was one time I thought to myself, milk and sugar, wait a minute, isn't that basically what ice cream is? So why don't I put a dollop of ice cream into this freshly brewed coffee and just see what it tastes like? I'm curious. I'm sure it's no big deal and other people have done it as well, but I want to just see for myself if my theory as a kid is true. Basically, this is cream and sugar in a more solid form. Why don't I just put a dollop of that into the coffee? Let's do so. I'm assuming a teaspoonful would be the appropriate amount, so that's maybe too much. And it's obviously going to cool the coffee down. But I want to see now, is it going to turn it into like an ice cream float? Is that basically what I have made here? Or is it coffee the way I like? And give it a nice big stir. And maybe that's too much ice cream. Maybe this is going to be incredibly sweet. Again, I was thinking I might actually try it out before, the sort of the before and after idea, but I cannot drink black coffee. Much as I would like to, my dad drinks it that way. And I always thought, why doesn't it taste the way it smells? You'd think it would be delicious. I think that ice cream's practically melted now. Still got a little drop there. Come on. That is it all mixed up. What's it taste like? Cheers. It did cool the coffee down a little bit, but not badly so. Surprisingly, that is not as sweet as I would normally have it. And the color is not too... You know what? Let's give it another scoop, because that's actually not that sweet. Let's do, I guess, 2 teaspoons worth of ice cream in coffee is more my particular preference, which surprises me because I don't have much of a sweet tooth. Okay, that is more the color that I am used to in my coffee. I'll be really surprised if this is not sweet enough, because I would think ice cream is a pretty sweet item, and a teaspoon of sugar is more than this. Anyway, let's try it out. Well, it is definitely much cooler now. That's why I drank so much just now. And you know what? It's still not sweet enough for me. Like, I'm used to a teaspoonful, and that amount of ice cream has not equaled a teaspoonful. The color is about right. It does have that nice creaminess like you would have if you added cream or milk to your coffee, like I used to. I now drink it black, but I still have to have sugar in it because I just can't do it without. But you know what? I am surprised. It is still not quite as sweet as I would have expected, given there's 2 very liberal dollops of vanilla ice cream sitting inside there. And that's the good stuff, too. It's not that sweet. Or if I was to put a single teaspoon of sugar in the same amount of coffee, that would be sweeter than what I just had. It's not bad. It's, down to the bottom there. It tastes sweet enough, but like it takes the sort of burn or harshness of coffee away. But I'm still used to it being a bit sweeter, and I'm really surprised given that was 2 very liberal dollops of ice cream. Wow. Okay, well, experiment over. Again, this is something I'm sure nobody really cares about, but as a kid, I remember thinking to myself, wait a minute, why am I putting milk and sugar into coffee? Why don't I just stick ice cream in there? And now I have, and honestly, it's not that great of an improvement. And the fact that you're losing temperature as you go is a big negative. So I wouldn't recommend putting ice cream in coffee. Even if you're a cream and sugar kind of guy, ice cream does not equate the same amount of sweetness. Huh. All right, well, until next time, we'll see you down the rabbit hole.